Alrighty, everyone, and here we go. So let's see if I think we got us up and running here. Today is our inaugural live stream of Crypto Diaries on, let's see, today is the 30th of March 2020 at 0835 Eastern Standard Time. Now, this is a completely free channel. I used to do this professionally for a company named You Can Trade, which I highly recommend. Some things went down, like I had a death in the family, death of my dog, sick brother, and basically I was unable to continue that. But I could highly recommend them. I have some saved videos there you can go and watch for free. But this is a completely free channel where I teach you. I will never tell you what to trade. This is for educational purposes only, so you can learn how to trade. Okay, cryptocurrency and blockchain investments are extremely speculative and risky. They fall outside of much of current regulatory frameworks and as such are risky for novice, inexperienced, and experienced investors. Because of its novel nature, the cryptocurrency market is fraught. Sorry, there's alerts coming up on my thing here. It's fraught with difficult to evaluate assets, frauds, scams, and schemes. Do not risk anything you cannot stand to lose. Furthermore, intensive due diligence surrounding complex technical, financial, and regulatory issues is required in this market. This presentation and all associated with Crypto Diaries and Nexus DAO are for educational purposes only. We never recommend the purchase, sale, and trading of any specific asset or issue. However, we do offer information to enable our audience to learn how to manage their own risk and potentially capitalize on mispricing in the cryptocurrency and blockchain market. All right, so what's going on today? Okay, let me get that out of the way here. Yeah. So, before I get into our scanner, which we're going to be hitting up today, and I already picked up a trade this morning because Aave was in play. Take a look at Aave. Okay, Aave opened, basically, this starts at usually at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 12 midnight UTC. Okay, and what you'll see here is it opened at basically 222. Now, Aave had some new protocol announcements. I was listening to some live streams the other day, and that's what this is about. But if you look at these two candles, now I already hold a significant amount of this, but I picked up some anyway today. I picked up about 80 of these, 83 of those, and basically because let me do a little more technical analysis and give you some insight here. Okay, I want to get this done so like if anybody's interested in learning about this, they can learn about it. So essentially the volume numbers here, if you look at the volume down there in the large green, right here, this large green bar, it's more than double the daily volume. If you look over here on the upper left, okay, it's 253,000 out of 100,000 average daily volume. It's 1.5 times. If it's just a half a time more, that's more than enough that it's in play. And then today, it's a half a time more, right? It's 163 over 100,000. So it's definitely in play. I picked it up at about 233, I think I did. I don't even know if the order closed all the way. I don't think it did. It probably didn't. Let's see if it did. I hope it did. I picked up 83 of them at 233.42. It looks like some of them are still hanging around. It doesn't look like it's going to make it, but that's pretty decent. So that's like $2. Woo! I made like $2. It's $160 minus fees, which on Coinbase I probably lost money, because they're such dirt bags. Nothing against Coinbase, but their fees are too high. But now, why did I do that? So let's make this a little bigger. What you can see here, as recently as in January, right? I mean, you could have picked Aave up for about $100. Whenever it's below $100, I mean, it's an incredible buy. Now I'll explain why that is in a minute. Okay, but let me get these settings down so we can talk before we go into like fundamental analysis of cryptocurrencies. So what you're going to see here is basically this one had commonly touched, basically this level right here. Okay, this isn't that good one. This one is the one that I found commonly touched right there. So it's right here at approximately, you see many touches there. And what those represent, there's a lot of high volume there. There's 25% more on the average daily volume for that day. There was 97 over 68, so it's 1/3 more. Okay, and what does that tell us? It tells us that a lot of buyers and sellers were on that day. So on these price levels, there's going to be a lot of action there. That's what you're doing, because what this represents on this screen here is it represents a lot of people, essentially. That represents the pit in like Chicago or the New York Stock Exchange back in the day, or like Exchange Alley. That's like Diagon Alley, right? And Harry Potter's my Harry Potter joke. But it was actually in London where the original the stock market as we think of it today was formed. There's a great book on that, which I'll tell you about some other time. So that means there's a lot of people buying and selling at that point. So you're highly likely that it'll get stopped there because there'll be a lot of liquidity. Liquidity is what determines the market. The more buyers and sellers in there, the narrower amount the spread, okay, of people between buyers and sellers, okay? So what I saw that, I aped in because I'm familiar with Aave, and then I did a calculation which is really important, which I'm going to talk about today. So the calculation is you never want to risk more than 1% of your stack. So the stack I was trading with today was about this. So 1% of that is $250. That's how much I can risk. Okay, the risk of loss here where I picked it up at $33 was it could have gone down to $30, right? That was the next touch, right? 30 was the touch, I picked it up at 33, right? So that means I could have lost $3, okay? So you go 250 divided by 3, and that told me I could buy 83 shares. So I aped in 83 shares at, and then I tried, because I'm chintzy, I tried to get it at T33, 33, about 20K. I didn't risk the entire stack on that one. It's always okay to go lower. What that means is that my stops will be at $30, and the most I can lose on this trade is $250. It's the most I can lose. And that's what I'm explaining to you right there. That's called trade sizing, okay? Now, aside from trade sizing, okay, so that's a trade right out of the outset. I wanted to hit you early with that so that you could basically get warmed up. Now, the way we determine this is we have a scanner, essentially. And what the scanner does is we choose to make sure that there's enough volume, that there's at least 1.5 times its average day volume. The average daily volume, let's see what I picked in here, is I make sure it has between greater than 50,000 shares a day so that we know we're not going to get stuck. Because you can get a share, crypto can move real fast, but you might not be able to get out and it'll destroy you. Okay, so that's the other thing. You want to make sure there's enough volume, right? So that's volume, so that's the average daily volume over 10 days. I picked the same here, same thing. Okay, and then the average true range, that's how much it moves per day. Okay, so let's go back to that Aave chart here. Let's talk a little bit about the Aave chart. So I have basically the 1, the 5, and the daily, 1 minute, 5 minute, and daily in these 3 charts. And then I also have some little squigglies down here on the bottom. The squigglies, what we have here is we have our stochastic oscillator, right? And this is basically the momentum of when it's gonna turn. Okay, and I don't have time to go into the details today. I'll have to do a dedicated stream for you guys on that. But essentially, and depending on how much interest, I will do those dedicated streams. Remember, this is an educational channel. This isn't about telling you what to do. I will never tell you what to trade, but I will teach you how to trade. Okay, and I'm doing this for no money. I'm getting no sponsorships, nothing. I don't know if YouTube's monetizing this. I don't know if they will or not. I think you got to have a certain number of subscribers. You know, whatever. You know, we're not even into that right now. This is what the reason I do this. You want to know why I do this, right? I do this because this helps the discipline of my trading. That's right. Because if I'm not speaking to you every day and I'm not sharing what it is I'm doing, I get lackadaisical, I get lazy, I start gambling, right? I start getting bored, right? I start making trades that are dangerous. And this isn't about gambling, okay? This is about legitimate trading. All right. So let's go back to our chart here. So I saw the oscillator was down here. If you look down here on the bottom, okay, if you look down here on the 5 minute and the 1 minute, the oscillator was back here when I pulled it. So I picked it down here about 2:33. It was down here. It was on its way down. So I look at the time between peak and valley in the oscillator on any given day to make sure what the range of time it is between up and down times. And then it was down here when it was at 2:33 right here, right? Let's see where it was at 2:33. Let's see. I think that's when I got it right here. Let's see, at 8 o'clock. No, it was around 8:15. So I was pulling it around right there. Okay, and so it was right at the bottom. I remember it being right around here, 8:10, and I just aped in because I knew, like looking at this thing was going to blow. And there's a 3-to-1. Oh, let's talk about that. The 3-to-1 win-loss ratio. So I saw it was at the bottom of the oscillators on the 1 and the 5. Okay, and then I saw that it's rising on the right-hand side here on this oscillator stochastic on the right. It's got a high average true range, so I have a chance to make between $10 and $16 per token, right? Or per issue, right? And then there's also the MACD. The MACD, you want to deal with the blue crossing over the orange here. We're going to talk about that on another day. Or the DMI. Oh, okay. I don't remember the acronym right now because I haven't been on. This is what happens, you know. I've been developing Solidity code just to see what I've been doing. You want to see what I've been doing? Here you go. I've been writing code because I'm writing a blockchain application, which I'll tell you about some other time. Let's go back to this larger screen right here. Okay, so it was at 233 when I picked it up, and I saw that it touched at 230. So it may go down, okay, to 230. So that's down of $3, but potentially a rise of $9. That's a 3-to-1 ratio, win-loss ratio. That is a strong hand. You want 2-to-1 minimum, but you want 3-to-1 or better. Those are usually going to be in those ranges. Now, have I made some gut check, like rolls, much higher before? I'm going to leave that alone, okay, to each his own. So there we go. All this was looking at. Some people will talk about these little, these moving averages down there, but let's just say, what we saw here is you saw the, it looks like we got the red one. We have the 20 crossing over the 50. It's over the 50, and it is approaching the 100. And the 200, it's above, yeah. So it's crossing over, so that means it's rising. Now, I don't want to get too much into those because you're better off layering your indicators, right? So you want your primary indicator, your secondary, and your tertiary, right? Primary indicator, that's where you're looking, like my stochastic. So my primary indicator was what? Volume, okay? So you got to make sure there's enough liquidity in the token. You got to make sure there's enough range so that it's actually going to move within the range you're trying to buy it in, right? And then you have to make sure you don't risk too many shares. That's trade sizing, boom, and the ability to get in and out. Then I looked at basically the oscillator, right? Okay, to see if it was a chance of turning. So you'll see right now, it's turning right here on the 1 minute, it's pumping again, right? So it went below 35, it looks like again, but it'll be right back at it. I mean, I don't know. It looks like it's rising, right? If you look down here on the 1 minute, and if you look at the 5 minute, it's turning down, but do we think it's gonna keep going? We don't know, right? So what you would wanna look at here is you would wanna look at volume, and I don't have my, let me see, I don't know how to pause streaming on this thing. Let's see if I can figure it out, huh? Let me see, pause. Can I pause the screen? I wonder if I could black this out. I don't want to break my stream in the middle here. Let's see. Lock preview. Okay, here goes. Well, that didn't work. Okay. I unlocked the preview. Well, yeah, let's see, what can I do? I can't stop the screen. I don't know how to pause this or block. Can I black it out? Let's see if I can do that. Let me, oh, I got an idea. Let me switch it to something else here. Some DAO stuff. There you go, I'll put some code on here. Oh, that's not gonna work because I'm still looking at it. Okay, it's not gonna work. Let me see, what can I do here? Screen transmission. Let me see, there's gotta be a way I can, what does that do? What does this do? I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'll do. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to log into an account, and I don't want to flash my login info to everybody in the world because it's just like all kinds of really bad idea, right? I'm gonna get a bunch of hackers attacking me, and I'll basically, it's just gonna get ugly. So what I wanted to show you is a screen which shows volume. So if you basically had, it's not this one, but yeah, well, they're showing some volume here, and so here you go. This is some trade volume. It looks like it's updating. Yeah, there you go. This will do. It's not the best. Let me see if I can show zero trade volume prices. Show prices between the best bid asked. Let's see. Get rid of that. Let's see what that does. So this is zero trade volume. So that means there's no trade on the volume. And then this one means prices between the best bid and ask. No, we're not going to show that. Okay. So what this is what I wanted to show you here is this is showing the trades that are going through on Coinbase right now. Okay, and this is going to show you which direction it's going. You see it's pumping right now. It looks like, let's see, these are selling. What you really want to see when you're looking at this is you want to look at, it's usually you want to see, they're considered the L2 trades, like if you're walking NASDAQ and you're doing a regular equities market, and what you're going to look at is you want to see that people are asking it up. What does that mean? Is that when the prices are rising in a market, a bunch of people will sell it higher and higher. It's counterintuitive. And when it's low, going down in value, people will lowball you. They'll start offering lower and lower and lower. You'll get a whole bunch of really bad offers. So you're going to ask it up, bid it down, right? It's really the opposite. Ask it up, bid it down. And the reason I do right and left is because usually the ask on the right, bids on the left. It makes you wonder in Chinese or in Israel, is it the other way around? Do they reverse it, right? Is it because you read English? I just like doing this. I'm just kidding. It's like Techno-Viking. Look it up. All right. So that's that. So it looks like it's, I don't know about this volume. I need a better chart. I'm not going to mess with it right now. I'm still in the green for my trade. We're going to leave that alone. So let's go back to there. All right, now I want to talk a little bit about the economic numbers, and let me look at the economic calendars here. Okay, I'm going to look at the economic calendar. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. All right. Economic calendar. Okay, so what we found today is Wednesday, the 30th of March. We got the ADP unemployment report. We got the GDP revision for the SAR, which is real estate. So let's check those out. So we're going to go into here. Okay, we're going to fire up the ADP employment reports today. And so you want to go straight to the source if you can, right? So you'll get a lot of stuff online where basically, so today, okay, 455,000, March 22, it just came out, all right? So that so it's a rise in jobs. Those are jobs added. It was estimated to be at 450 was the forecast. So 90,000 up in small businesses. We want to look at the full report. This is what we usually want to do. Small businesses up 90,000, mid-size up 108,000, large businesses 177,000. Yeah, so it's looking pretty good. Okay, what you want to look for is non-seasonal. So this is usually non-farm. Yeah, it's non-farm. So you can also look at the PDF. Okay, and I'll drop these in the chat. Okay, let me go back and I will drop this in the chat. I'll super chat to myself. Who loves it? Who loves myself? Okay. Let me see if I can share the link to the live stream. How do I share the link to my live stream? Let me see. No, let me cancel out of there. How do I get my live stream? Oh, I can share it right here. There we go. Let me copy this bad boy. Oh, it's on now. Sub now. Huh? Sub now. Huh? All right. So let me Sorry, it's taking me a second here. I just want to make sure that I give everyone the opportunity to watch this. This is fun. This is fun. I love what I do, and I'm learning how to develop. All right, everybody, thank you for your patience real quick. All righty. Okay, so that takes care of that. So let me get back to work here. All right, so thank you for your patience. So let's go back to the live. Okay, so that was the employment report. Okay, now let's take a little bit. Let me drop in here the methodology, full details. Yeah, it's actually, let's just do the quick on the press release. Sometimes it's good. 455, 90, 180 sector. Okay, this is good. Service providing 80. So if we were going to dig in deep here, what we would want to know, so this is the gains, and you want to go back actually more than a couple of years. You want to go back to the Trump administration, you know, pre-COVID, right? Because that's when we were growing, right? And that's what you want to compare it to. Because right now we're really just kind of trying to bring back online all the stuff we shut off that, of course, was not helpful because it didn't save anybody's lives. Lockdowns and masks saved less than 1%. Yes, that's correct. You can look that up, CDC's own data. Called me crazy for that. All right, changing non-form employment. Yeah, so this is not worth us digging in right now. I don't want to waste everybody's time. It's not really a waste, but you know, it's important. It's not the time. I wasn't well prepared or whatever. So now we're going to do the GDP SAR report, revision that is. That's what we're looking for. It's today. Bureau of Economics, SAR report. Let's see what we got here. Okay, GDP is increasing. What do we got to go here? Let's see the current release. What's the date on this? That's today. Today, yep. Okay, so real GDP increased at an annual rate of 7% in the fourth quarter. Okay, those are back in our 80s numbers, but just wait, it's going to get a lot hotter. People are all scared about supply chains and the Great Reset and everything else, but I'm not necessarily a permabull, but like, there's so many technological improvements and things going on right now that, yeah, it's whenever everyone thinks that we're all going to die, it's way better than people think it is. And whenever everybody thinks that it can never go wrong, it's worse than we think it is. There you go. So it's a little slightly contrarian, but there's actually more than that. I don't want to go into that. So let's see what else we got in here. It was the third estimate, blah, blah, blah. They thought it was 7%. Let's see. Here we go. Increasing private inventory. Domestic purchases. Let's see here. Gotta get all smart right now. Sorry I got no tie today, everybody, because went for a run this morning. All right, let's see. We got corporate profits going on. They decreased a little. Let's see here, real GDP. Advanced estimate 6.97. So we're pretty much where we are here, 6.9. Current dollar GDP 14.5 probably was that like trillion. Here we go. Here's some inflation, PCE numbers. All right, well that's that. Okay, so I'm not feeling a lot. There was nothing spectacular that went down there. That's very surprising. Let me just check. So this is like the seasonally adjusted annual rate. That's what SAR stands for. Okay, I'm trying to see if there's anything out there. Yeah, I need to get into some more details here. I'm a little rusty, I apologize, but let's see. So SAR revisions. The main thing is it was revised slightly down, which can cause that was probably what caused the dip we saw on the chart. So we can check that out. It was released at 8:15 a.m. Yeah, or 8:30. That's probably our dip. So let's do that. That's the point of what I'm getting at here. So let's fire up our trading view here. Okay, and so that was what I say, 8:30. Yeah, moderate dip. So let's look at our S&P 500. So we can look at our Dow futures, right, and our S&P futures. This is the E-minis, S&P 500, and then let's go back to 8:30 and see what happened. That is where our 8:15, is that our dip? It looks like we got a bump out of that, okay? And then the DJI, they're not really trading that much. So S&P futures are down a little. Let's see what yesterday we popped. We had a nice bump yesterday. Let's see what Granddaddy Bitcoin is doing. That's kind of the anchor of the crypto market. We got like what's called a gravestone doji right there. Actually that's a hammer. So it has a gravestone on the left. Let's make that bigger so everybody can see it. Gravestone on the left mostly, and then a hammer here. It's got a long tail on the bottom. That means it tried to go up, and then the buyers pushed it to the middle. Then it tried to go down, and buyers pushed it to the middle. What happened yesterday, actually, and this is worth mention, is yesterday at around, I want to say 3 o'clock, there was a $650 million hack. Yeah, you heard me correctly. Let's pull that up. $650 million hack, Axie. There you go. Well, this article, you want to see the actual detailed report. The Ronin network was hacked. Now, the way it was done, okay, is that what happens is, so when people in crypto, so I know how to program this right now. I actually just finished a boot camp on this, and I've been studying crypto for about, I don't know, 10 years or something, but I've been really serious about it for 5. I mean, I had stood up a Bitcoin node in like 2012 and couldn't buy anything. I was like, whatever, shut it down. Yeah, I'd probably be like a trillionaire, but whatever. You know, I mean, easy come, easy go. I don't do this for the money. I do what I enjoy. Because even if you're rich, there's only so much you can get high, get drunk, and like buy stuff, right? You need to find something to do with your time. I like to build and I like to learn, all right? Plus, I also use the money crypto I usually put into real assets like real estate, things like that. I try to build something, right? Instead of just sitting on a big pile of cash, like Scrooge McDuck. I don't know if you've seen that, DuckTales. He like swims through piles of gold, right? It's completely ridiculous, ludicrous, but nonetheless. So what happens is you have a multi-sig contact, okay? And when that contract means you have multiple private keys. These are the keys like you use. I have a hardware token right here, but they're basically crypto, they're software keys. And the private key you never let out. So you need multiple to change the contract. And what happened was the hacker got 5 of 9 keys, but the way they did it was they compromised. There was a gas-free node, and they compromised the IC, that one, and were able to take control of it. Because what happened was that the gas fees got too high on the network, right? And here it is. This is the side chain right here. Ronin has instant confirmation, and then basically it helps people out, does all this stuff, and so because they were congested, they allowed that node the rights to the keys to make the change, all right? And so what happened was, once the hacker did it, they were able to take the money off. But the thing is, of course, everyone just talks smack at, Y Combinator. They don't know what they're talking about. We'll talk about that later. They used to call the internet a scam. I remember that. The internet will never catch on. Paul Krugman, that famous New York economist, New York Times economist, so-called Nobel Prize winner, he said, "Internet's like the fax machine." The fact that he has an has a syndicated column and people still listen to that guy after a statement like that. People said this about crypto. Oh, it's never going to catch on. I remember a guy I worked with at Amazon. I worked at AWS, and I was like, yeah. I was like, that internet thing. I said, yeah, just like that internet thing. I literally had pre-made, dumped that right in there. And of course, people have no idea. Haters going to hate, as I always say. Okay, here's a blog post. Here's the thing, though. 25 mil has been pulled out, but the rest of it is 163,000 Ethereum and basically 173,600, 25 million USDC. But the thing is that they're going to be able to trace these wallets, okay? Here you go. They're working with law enforcement officials, forensic cryptographers, and investors to make sure there's no loss of user funds. So they're going to have insurance as well. These larger ones have insurance, right? They're going to be bonded. So like the protocol I'm designing, I will go to VCs. I wasn't going to originally. I was going to build it all myself and just throw it out. Fly, be free. Kick it out of the nest. But I've been studying for a long time. I got an MBA. I've been working in the industry. And, as much as I'm a libertarian, I'm a freedom fighter. Power to the people, right? I went to Berkeley, right? Power to the people, right? And I'm an American individualist, rugged individualist. I believe that we can have a chance, we all have a chance to change our lives for the better and to build, things of great renown. That's all I ever wanted to do. I'm a Grail Knight on a quest, man, to build something of great renown. All right, so, but you need help because there's like trillions of dollars out there, and you need billionaires to fight the trillionaires, right? So you want to find the right team of people to work with. And then they'll be able to bond you, so you're going to be able to get the insurance, so your protocol is protected. Now, I'll use on-chain solutions as much as possible, okay? Let's see. Is this all hate? God, this is all hate. Wow, this whole thing is hate. Oh, yeah. Well, I can't listen to that much hate. Okay, sorry. It's just, one of the things I learned about haters is they're unhappy. And so the only way they experience anything is by making other people unhappy. Because when I was out here in Puerto Rico, right? And I posted, Crypto Island, I'm coming here to build businesses. And I got death threats and things like that. And I had hundreds of people. That was my first Twitter, Instagram hate mob. And what I learned is not one person asked me how I learned to do this. I was in the Army making like $22,000 a year, but not really. I was making about $12,000 a year. I think 1,200, maybe 15. But they said an adjusted estimated income based on uniform allowance, healthcare, and everything else, it comes up to 22. I was making like 12 or 15K. Okay, and 3 years later, because I studied my ass off, okay, I was making 7 or 8 times that. I'll let you decide whether it's the adjusted or my estimated income, right? And so when I offered to teach people how to do this, nobody ever asks, they never take me up on it. So I'm just streaming this video to teach people what I do, to leak alpha, as they say. And why am I doing it? Because it gives me discipline and I do better in my trading. I'm already doing better in my trade this morning because it's executing discipline, right? Let's go back to Aave, man. Let's see how it's doing. Oh, I'm down. Oh no. Right after I said that, I'm like down. But we'll see what happens around 9:30. Okay, we'll see what happens. Let me throwing the live stream out there. Anyway, that's Axie Infinity. So what else did I have on the menu today? Okay, let's go back to that's seasonally adjusted data. That's the GDP report. This was the ADP. Okay, then went through the GDP report, which was adjusted GDP, went down by 1/10, right? It was at 6.9, estimated 7. Now it's back to 6.9. Okay, so we went through that. Let's see what else we have on our calendar, make sure I cover everything else, and then we're going to close out. We're going to wait till kickoff just because this is our inaugural and we want to see what's going to happen. Let me see what I can do here. All right, let's see what else we got going. Okay, yesterday we had Case-Shiller Homes, which was up. Price index went up. Okay, and then so that was a bullish. Consumer confidence numbers went up yesterday. That was bullish. Job openings went up. That was considered bullish. And then we had a few more quits, which means people, based on the other numbers, it means people are changing jobs to higher paying jobs. That could go either way, right? From an economic standpoint, wages rising is going to lead to higher inflation. So GDP, SAR, gross GDI we looked at already. Corporate profits. Let's see what corporate profits reports were. Let me see if I can pull that out. It looks like I got a setting I got to fix over here. Hold on. I'm being told. All right, there we go. I now made it public. So I just fixed that. Apparently my stream is private. Alrighty, so that was that. So let me go back to what I was doing. Sorry, so this QA against inaugural kickoff. Oh yeah, I was pulling up corporate profits year over year for the report this morning. So I was going corporate profits report year over year. Oh, that was in the GDP GI report again. Let's go back to that. That was here, yeah. Yeah, that was this one. Let's go back to here. Yeah, this is exactly what we looked at. So the profits we said were down, right? Hold on, there's growth domestic index. Hold on. Index GDI is after inflation, right? So it's going to be a little bit lower, yeah, because inflation was very high. Okay, so let's go back to, that's real GDP. Here's the corporate profits. Come on, corporate profits. Okay, we're going to go into details like we went before. I know I'm scrolling fast. I'm not expecting you to, come on. Is it? There it is. Let me make it bigger so we can read it. Sorry for scrolling so fast. I forget. I'm computer tweaker guy, right? I'm computer tweaker guy, so let's see what happens here. Okay, domestic financial corporations decreased 1.3 billion to a 14.2 billion increase. Yeah, now there's a lot we can talk about that. It's most likely inflation and supply chain related. But let's see here. Profits of domestic non-financial corporations increased 5 billion. There we go. And of course, the rest of the world, they increased even more because a lot of the rest of the world started up because unlike rich countries, we could just finance it through debt. When we closed everything down, millions of people died in the third world. Millions. Way more than have died of COVID. Like, it's not even comparable. Yeah. All right. So that's that. And those are the finals. So those are what I call minding the macros. Maybe I'll create another channel for that. Or I'll break up I'll probably break these into small pieces for that. So yeah, that's all of our economic data for the day. So let's go back to our charts. It's basically 9, 10. Let's see if we can scrape up any opportunities here. All right. Oh, so I'm down on so this would be my closeout right here. And so you would close the position here, the 230. You would close it. You'd go, oh, I lost $250. Let me get out. That's what you would do. Yeah, that's a steep decline. Let's see if everybody's seeing the steep decline. Let's go to S&P. Okay, that's not. This is a pre-market. So let's do pre-market 5-minuter. Okay, let's look at our futures here. Nah, nothing spectacular. Let's look at our total. Yeah, so we're at like a gravestone doji here on the total cryptocurrency market. See what else we got here. So it's, we're going to switch to our volume. Let's see what compound's doing. Let's just throw up some compound. It's a nice looking chart, right? Look at that. It's been going down for a little bit. Might be an opportunity here. This is 1 day. That shouldn't be 1 day. Why is that not? Let's reload that. Yeah, we're going to reload that. There we go. That's a proper chart. Okay, so we're getting a dead cat bounce. That's why I didn't close out that obvi position. But I'm a lot more experienced. If you're a normal person, I suggest a newbie. I would suggest you dump your position when that happens. But I mean, it was like, yeah, it's definitely worth staying in for me because this is dead cat bounce territory. What does that mean? Dead cat bounce means that it's so, the stock has dropped from such a high height that even a dead cat would bounce from that height. Okay, it's a terrible thing to say, I know, but that's, if you listen to dudes at Wall Street, it's pretty alpha, man. It's pretty alpha, man, out testosterone fueled. It's aggressive, whatever you want to call it. It's just aggressive. Like if you basically destroy someone in a trade, or like you give them a really bad deal, like a market maker, you crush them. It's called tearing their eyes out. There's a whole bunch of phrases they have, and you can tell when you hear them talk. You're like, man. So any like women who get into that, there's like a lot of lawsuits about that because like they're just like, this is terrible, it's so abusive, it's toxic masculinity, and it's like whenever you get to that level of aggressivity, you're going to get to the most, violent competitors. It doesn't mean, and violence isn't just about hitting people. The worst kind of violence is a lie, right? So you're doing violence on someone's soul. So watch out, man. That's all I'm saying. So that's why so we're still above my closeout, and I'm not. Yeah, this is the bottom of the stochastic down here on the. You can see here. And so it looks like you can see my mouse, move in there. Look at that. It looks like a turn. I'm not feeling the heat. I'm not scared yet. Although I don't really get to. I mean, I did get scared, man. I was down, let me tell you something. So since Like November, I think I was down by like a third, you know, at some time in mid-January or something, or like, it was brutal, it was painful. And last year, you know, like my mom, on the day my mom died, my position got cut in half. Yeah, it was at the same day. And then, yeah, it was pretty intense. But here's the thing with trading. It's 70% emotional, like 20% technical, and like 10% just luck, all right? And so luck is kind of preparation and opportunity, and that's what we're here to capitalize on that. So it is down a little bit today. It's a little bit of a down day in ETH, you know. But right now we're looking for it to stay at around 3.4, so 3,400. Bitcoin is looking at 47. Bitcoin's still in great shape over the last few days. 47,158. The ESG gangsters, the environmental, social, and governance people, I call them the gangsters because what that is and this is the thing with regulatory capture, is what you have is you have a bunch of non-elected bureaucrats trying to control the free market right so they can capitalize it. It's prone to corruption. That's the thing, because Bitcoin uses mostly curtailed energy. What that means is you have to kind of fire up your system and have it running to be able to generate power. Like if you shut it down, it takes a while to start it back up. Okay, so usually they just burn off the excess because the amount of energy you lose from shutting the system down and starting it back up is more than just burning off that excess. Batteries can't hold it, and you can't send it to the grid. So Bitcoin miners capture curtailed energy. Okay, so 2/3 of the energy used to run Bitcoin is curtailed energy. It means that energy will just be burned off, and they're getting more and more efficient. And then they also compare Bitcoin uses all this money for what? But it secures a network that of value, okay, that will last in perpetuity, okay, against everyone. That's why it's expensive, and it makes it hard to basically fight, right? But how much money is used to, like, honestly, for Christmas lights? How much money is used for, like, Instagram, right? Or, like, TikTok? Maybe we should burn TikTok to the ground. That's probably, like, a societal good in and of itself. You know, there's, like, Facebook, whatever. There's all kinds of things we do as humans, right, that may be questionable uses of energy. So it's a spurious argument. And then people say it's like, you know, climate change, but like climate change predictions have been wrong about every single prediction in the last 60 years. I was a big global warming guy when I was at Berkeley, and they changed the phrase on us, right, later, you know, and I did a lot of research, you know. Like, so for the majority of Earth's history, there's been no polar ice caps at all. And then carbon, right, if we fall below a certain level of carbon, you basically, your crop yields will go down and everyone will die. And so there was actually the Carboniferous periods. And so if you look it up, it's bad science, but, you know, do what you want. You know, what would I say with that? What would I say? You may disagree, you may think I'm crazy, but here's the thing. What I'm telling you is reason it out on your own. Turn off all the noise. Whenever somebody screams that loud about something everywhere, that means it's most likely not true, all right? Because the thing is, truth is self-evident. It's always self-evident, right? And you don't need to be reminded of it constantly, okay? Like, you know, they're reminding us of the pandemic all the time. It's because there isn't one, right? Or the dead bodies. There'd be dead bodies everywhere, right? Like in LA and in San Francisco, during this period of shutting everything down in COVID, the homeless population went up by like 10, 20%. We're talking hundreds of thousands of people, right? Okay? That's not a pandemic. Those guys have no sanitation. They would all be dead, right? There'd be dead homeless people everywhere. That's not what happened, right? So, you know, I know. Don't believe your lying eyes. Believe the TV. So that's that. There's your spiel there. So why am I telling you this? Because I'm teaching you how to make money. All right? That's what I'm doing. I'm teaching you how to not listen to the noise and how to make money. If you don't like it, you know, you can bail. That's why I'm giving it for free, right? See, I'm not making any money off of you. How am I making benefit? Again, I'm making benefit because it's making my trades tighter. It's helping me to speak clearly and accurately about what I'm doing. This is my discipline. You can think of it as like me doing my push-ups every morning, right? I work out, right? This is working out my mind, right? And connecting the two. So let's look at the scanner. All right. Okay. I'm like the Indian Jim Cramer. It's like an insult, you know, or is it a compliment? I don't know. Who cares? So we looked at compound. Let's pull up that compound again. So let's go up USD. Yeah, it's looking kind of jumpy. Got about 11 minutes till the bell. Let's see what the SPY is doing. It looks like it's up in pre-market. Is it up in pre-market? It's up in pre-market. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see S&P futures. Okay, S&P futures are down a little bit. Let me double check here. Yeah, they're down a little bit, so that's what it is. Corporate profits jump. It says they jump, but I don't, let me see, that doesn't seem accurate. That's not what we read. Yeah, it says corporate profits jump. All right, we've got about 10 minutes till the bell. Look at that corporate profits report again that we were looking at. It says it decreased 1.3 billion. Why is it saying that? I need a bigger keyboard. There we go. Profits from current production increased 20 billion. Profits of domestic financial corporations decreased 1.3. So profits from current production. So we probably should look up what that means. Yeah, they increased quite a bit. Okay, there we go. So that's an incredibly bullish signal. I don't know why that is. I should have popped it at 8:30. This is the S&P futures and the DJI futures. Yeah, it popped a little, but not as much as I would expect. Crypto's in pain, probably from that hack yesterday. Yeah, Compound was pumping. Yeah, Compound was pumping. Let's see here. Yeah, this would be a good spot to jump in. Unfortunately for me, I blew my stack on it and on Aave. But for those of you, again, this is not financial advice, but for those of you who are interested in aping in on this, I would wait. Again, if you're a noob, I would wait till basically people are actually. So let's see, so it looks like down here the oscillator, it might pop, let's see. It's been going in a, 840 to 905, 15-minute ranges, let's see. 30, 45, yeah, about 15-minute ranges. And then it's still, wow, someone dumped a chunk right there, look at that. See how many they sold. They sold, 2,000. It's a big order dump. Let's see over here. Yeah, somebody dumped a big order. Yeah, so somebody took some profits right there. They wrote it up, right? Yep, that's what happened. They wrote it up probably right here. It looks like they bought it right there. And then you'll see right here, they bought it right there at, what's that? At 155 roughly, and then they're selling it at 157. So yeah, someone made a pretty big dump right there. Again, we're in, it looks like a bull market right here, okay? Along normal seasonality for crypto, this would have been February through June, and then it would dump in June, most likely until August during the summer doldrums, and then it would either rise from August to November, or it'll just go sideways, and then you pick it up in November. That's what you want to look at if you're looking at it for seasonality. Sessionality, we'll see at 9:30 when the bell kicks off in about 6 minutes, whether this thing's actually going to pop. Okay. Let's see what we have going here. Yeah, that's all of our mining the macros. Oh, let's do cryptofees.info. Okay. There it is. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to evaluate cryptos. Okay, there's actually a way to evaluate cryptocurrencies for fundamental analysis, right? You don't say, right? Yeah, that's right. There's actually earnings. That's right. It isn't just, you know, Ponzi. Everyone thinks it's, I don't know. I don't care what everyone thinks, actually, believe it or not. I'm pulling up trying to find us the right. Come on, here it is. Being a pain. Trying to get us a spreadsheet here so I can show you guys what's up. What's up? Okay, meanwhile, let's talk about fees. So, crypto, each of these has earnings, right? These actually protocols have earnings. And you're like, really? They have earnings? Yes, sir, they do have earnings. No, I hate Excel. He's asking me how likely am I to recommend Excel? Like, not at all. Okay? It's like Excel is like a, all right, here it goes. So I'm gonna show you something real quick here. I'm gonna bring this spreadsheet up. I haven't updated it for this year, but it's got the main idea going here. Let me bring the spreadsheet over here, and let me put the two together. All right, here we go. So what you have down here on the bottom, okay, stop that, okay, is we have basically profit and losses and how much they earn. So what you're going to see here is Ethereum earns $17 million a day in fees. And so if you can figure out how much fees per token that is distributed, you can figure out what their earnings are. And so Ethereum is trading right now at 62 times sales. That's how much fees. So each token earns 62 times, okay, it trades at 62 times that. So 62 times that, so that'd be like earnings would be, you know, whatever, 3328 divided by, here's like sales per token. So let me put in the new one here. So when I last did this, it was down at 3034. So we're going to do 3328.93. No, that's not right. It's 3328.93. Okay, and it's changing there you go. It's 62 times. So it's $62 token, there you go, 53. So anyway, what we have here, and then if you look at Bitcoin, guess what? It's like 4,000 times like earnings or something. No, it's compound right there. Let me go to Bitcoin. 5,000 times this price to sales ratio. So let's do 469,994.88. That's how low it was when I last was in here. So it's actually gone up. I think I updated this. So it's trading, yeah. So my numbers are a little bit different than theirs. Let's see how they calculate theirs. Based on 7-day average annualized fees. So they're saying it's trading at 5,000 times. So this allows you to know how much a protocol earns. The ones that are usually the best for this are like Uniswap, right? Which is trading at like, has a low price to sales ratio, but it's at, the fee right now is 1091 and I have it at 2125. Yeah, needless to say I'm in the hole on Uniswap. I didn't buy it at 21, I think I bought it like 18 or something. So yeah, I have it at 7.81, they have it at 4.54. I'll have to figure out where the way they do, and that's the graph protocol. Oh, that's from the graph, that's how they get the data. Hold on. There we go, price to sales, I'm gonna get the idea, let me go back. Come on, buddy, you can do it. All right, so that's how you do it. You figure out how much money it earns in fees. So here's where you want to go. It's cryptofees.info. It's open source. You can go there, okay, and you can look at how much your token's earning. Now, why does this matter? Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because if it has earnings, it's less likely to go to zero during your holding period. That's what you want to look at, is how likely it is to go to zero. All right? Well, we got 1 minute. See if the bell kicks off. Get ready. Get ready. Let's see what happens at the open. At the open. See if it pops at the open. Here goes. Not yet. In the 5 minute. Here's in the 1 minute chart. Here's a 1 minute chart. Here's a 1 minute chart. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what's going to happen. Let me pull some CNBC real quick. Let's see. Here it is.
because
Oh,
this German plant is going to, I'm not kidding,
Just
this
missed it.
German plant is right in the face of the so-called greatest country for autos. Forget it. Musk is doing it. He's dancing. Musk is dancing.
I just wanted you to hear the bell. Okay? Yeah, so S&P is down right now. So it's they're trying to notch the 4th day of games. We'll see what happens. All right. So I don't have any of my other scanners. So we're down quite a bit on our futures here. So like it's down 1/3% on S&P, and then the DJI is up 0.62. Okay. Let's see. The crypto CMC 200 index is basically pretty much plus 0.66. And then the and then that's let's see, is that including Bitcoin? That's including Bitcoin, it's up 0.66, and then excluding Bitcoin, it's up 0.66%, and including Bitcoin, it's down 0.03%. But let's see what happens. Let's see what our volume's looking like overall. Let's look at our volume on Bitcoin, see what's happening, see if it's pumping, see if we get a pump. So we have a divergence here on the oscillators. DMI, yeah, it's looking it's kind of bearish right now. Although ETH is it's a little below 3334. That's what we're looking for, is for 3,400 to stay around there. You still got your hammer formation there. See our AVE, I'm down like $5. Okay, Compound is at a trade. We had that big volume trade, so there's really nothing here right now that I can speak of. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go to our scanner. I'm not really seeing anything moving. We'll still see. I'm not convinced that this is going to be a bearish day. But that's all you get from me today. This is our first inaugural live stream. It's a good warm-up. This is my test. It seems to be going pretty well. Again, let me go back to our disclaimer here, and let me remind everybody, okay, CryptoDiaries, Nexus DAO, all we're doing here is we're doing live training for free. It may be paid at one point. I might create some live classes. We will never tell you what to trade. We will help teach you how to trade. Okay, cryptocurrencies are extremely dangerous, volatile, and you have a chance of losing everything you own. Do not risk anything you cannot stand to lose. Okay, beware of frauds, scams, and schemes. We do not teach on how to trade any of those. Okay, we don't generally get into any completely speculative coins, tokens, or issues on this channel. We essentially talk about ones that have actual established protocols. That's what we're doing. Okay? So, yeah. So we're just here to help you learn how to capitalize on mispricing in the cryptocurrency and blockchain market. All right. Take care. Y'all have a great day.